Hi, I'm the Naked Firefly. Welcome to my channel, Mindful Writing with the Rebel Writer. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for when new videos come out. May the 4th be with you. I just found out that this was a thing and that it was started May 4th, 1970, after Margaret Thatcher won being a British Prime Minister, and the newspapers kind of just went with it. And that just shows you how far Star Wars go. After this video, before this video, please go check out the video I did with my son for Star Wars. I just wanted to do something with him and let him talk about Star Wars a bit. Today, I am going to do Authortube in practice in theory tag. This was started by Stripped Cover Lit. So let's get into it. Question 1. How do you normally start writing a short story? Well, with a short story, I kind of just sit down and just start writing. There's really no planning to it. I just start, and then the planning really doesn't come until after I'm done with the short story. Then I'm kind of sitting there and trying to plot everything out to make sure everything was covered in it. Question 2, how do you normally start writing a novel? Now, a novel, on the other hand, unless, of course, I'm just instantly inspired, I usually try to plot it out. But if I do my best writing, it's usually like my short story. Just start writing, and majority of the time I'll get to a point, and half the time it's already halfway done. I'll get to a point where I'll stop, and then I'll start plotting just to make sure. And then there are times where I've actually written an entire novel and just be done with it. And then I have to go back and do the plotting just to make sure there are no plot holes. So it just depends. Majority of the time I try to nowadays. So nowadays with my novel writing, I have to plot before I can actually get into it, especially if I don't want to lose track of where I was going in the first place. Question 3, do you have a writing strategy? Get up in the morning and write for at least 3 hours in the morning, if not more, and then try to take a break. And I take a good 5-hour break, but that's only because I'm homeschooled and I have errands to run. So I usually try to get at least 3 hours, and then in the afternoon, I try to finish up writing and maybe getting some other things done, some social media stuff done. But my writing strategy is usually just get up in the morning, write for 3 hours, and try to write some more in the afternoon. If I can't write, if I can't focus on writing in the afternoon, that's usually my time where I'm usually plotting. I don't want you to think that I'm on social media all day. I'm not on social media all day. Actually, I'm learning about social media, if anything, or learning how to use it more efficiently. And I think I should do a video on that. Like, we should go on a journey of how to learn, unless, of course, you can teach me something. I have no problem learning from others. What this whole channel is a journey for me as well as for you. I'm learning. We're all learning. I don't think I'm a guru. I don't think I'm a teacher. I'm learning, and whatever I learn, I want to share. So that's my writing strategy. I just wake up in the morning, write, get some writing done in the morning. Hopefully you can get it done in the afternoon. If not, I'm plotting all day. Do you compose? Question 4. Do you compose on paper or computer? I've said this before. I compose on paper. I prefer paper. I've tried composing straight on a computer, and it never really works out for me. The juices don't flow as efficiently as when I'm writing by hand. It is a headache to have to go back and type it back up from the notebook. However, I prefer it because my juices get flowing like that. Question 5, are you allowed to claim I'm sorry. Question 5. You are allowed to claim one work of fiction as your own. What is it? That's a good question. Oh my. I guess the thing that comes to me would be, and I don't know why, The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. I don't know why. And I haven't read that story since I was 18, 19. I was in college. Oh my. And I don't know why that story just popped into my head. I mean, I can't sit here and honestly say that it was the greatest work ever, but I would want to claim that. And I guess because, I don't know, I guess because of the historical aspect to me, like I'm sure a lot of cultures did do that. And then on top of that, just the way that it started off, and you're reading it, and I was intrigued and tense by it. And then by the end of it, she's basically revealing that they're about to kill this person who, you know, got chosen in the lottery. I would just want to claim that one because of the way it was written. I guess the short story, the way it was written, I'm speechless right now. I don't know if it's because of the baby or but she agrees. But mostly because the way the short story was written, like you're reading this, you're seeing these people in their everyday lives. They're getting ready to gather together for this lottery, and you're just like, in your mind, me at the time when I read it, let me just feel like that. At the time when I read it, I was like, the lottery. The first thing that comes to my mind, of course, is, you know, the modern day lottery where you're chosen and you win millions or billions of dollars, or maybe even $2, depending on what lottery you play. But then at the end, this person that's chosen is killed so that, you know, the harvest would come in and all this other stuff. And I think I was kind of weirded out by that, but at the same time intrigued, like, wait, where do they do this at? Oh my gosh. Like I would love to claim that. There's some other works I would love to claim too. For some reason, that one just pops into my head. It popped into my head this morning, and it popped into my head last night too. So I just wanted to go back and reread it. There must be some reason, right? Question 6. Do you set goals? If so, how? Yes, I set goals. I tell people who I come in contact with all the time, I got goals. I know that's not proper English, but that's how I say it when I feel like people are interfering with that. I say, I got goals. I do set goals. Even with the planning, the calendar planning, those are my goals. And then I break it down to monthly goals. Like, what do I want to do for the month? What is my goal? So if I have a novel or a short story in the works, when do I want to complete this? Or if it's only been a month, let's say I'm working on a novel. Like I said, it takes me sometimes 60 days if I actually want to write a pretty good novel. So at the end of the month, I want to at least be halfway done with the book. If it's a short story, by the end of the month, I want at least 4 or 5 short stories so I can make a collection out of them. If I want to do something like a newsletter or something like that, when do I want to complete it? If I have editing, if I wanted my stuff to be professionally edited, which it's advisable. It is advisable. If I want that done, I have to plan out, so when will that get done? So that means I need to be done by this certain time period. How will I do that? How will I achieve it? Will I give the children a week off from doing their schoolwork, or will I have to work for a little bit more hours, get up a lot earlier and work? or will I have to work throughout the night to make sure that I can achieve this goal that I'm trying to get to? I do set goals, and usually I write them down. So I start off with the whole entire year, then I break it down to a month, to the point that I even break it down to a week. My day goals, I try not to do too many day goals because sometimes I feel a little bit too pressured and nothing will get done. Whereas if I do it at least by a week or a month, I don't feel so pressured. The pressure is off, and I actually get things done because there's no pressure. And even with the year, I know for some people, they don't like to do the whole planning for a year, and that's fine. But to me, it works for me because it takes pressure off. I don't feel like, oh my gosh, this gotta get done, this gotta get done. No, I feel like, okay, well, I know that this is coming up, this next project is coming up. So that means this project needs to be resting and brewing in the background before I can even get started on this one. So I need to complete this other one by this date. Number 7, boom, you won the Nobel in literature. What is it that got you the award? That's a good question. What is it that got me the award? I'm hoping it would be I don't know how to answer that one. I mean, I know how to answer that one, don't get me wrong, but I just I just don't know how to really answer that because there's so many. I want to say like, oh, I got this one for this one. I guess at the time I'll just say I got it for my short story collections, because I love the romance that I wrote. Don't get me wrong, that's still percolating, and the mystery that I'm writing is starting off. It started off as a cozy, and I don't think it's going to stay a cozy. So I can't really say those would be ones that would win me the Nobel yet, because there's still like one is percolating and the other one is still in the works. And the only thing that's done is collection of short stories. So I guess the short story collections would have gotten me the award. Number 8, boom, you're a Nobel winning millionaire. Where do you live? What do you drive? Where do I live? Me, I love islands, so I would probably live on Guam. The island of Guam have me. I wouldn't even want a big house. I probably just want like a comfortable little house to stay in, something comfortable for me and my family. What do I drive? When I was younger, I wanted a Mercedes-Benz with a convertible top and leather and suede seats. In this case, I probably still want that, but I also want the option. I also want the option of, like, I don't know, riding a bike or taking public transportation. I probably wouldn't drive as much because of the simple fact that now I'm like this winning millionaire. I'm not going to want to drive. I have that option, but I don't want to. I just want to be able to get up and go. So if I want to walk somewhere, all right, and I love to walk if I can do it, or take public transportation. I also love to do that. I just like to people watch. I think that's just me. But if I don't have to drive, I'm not doing it. If I can have somebody drive for me, even I don't want that done because I really don't like when people drive for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. It just, I don't know. I just don't like it. So where would I live? Guam. Where would I drive? Probably my Mercedes-Benz with a convertible top and the leather and suede seats. And number 9, boom, you're in writer heaven. There are 5 writers in your writers group. Who are they and why? 5 writers. These questions, so hard. Because now you're asking me to pick just 5, and I have so, like, the moment I read that question, so many writers popped up in my head. But I can only pick 5. Okay, let's see. Langston Hughes, Maya Angelou, Edgar Allan Poe, Miguel de Cervantes, and Octavia Butler. And I would choose those people because, well, you would have, I think it would just be an interesting mix. Like Octavia Butler, she'd come, her and Maya Angelou would come in with their views on, you know, being women of color and being writers, successful writers, in a time where it was more common to not be a woman and not be a woman of color and to write and be famous. Langston Hughes, of course. I love his writing. There's not much to say about that. I remember the first time I picked up a Langston Hughes book and I was just like, is he still alive? And I found out later he wasn't. I became a fan and I was just like, oh, that sucks, he's not alive. Then, of course, Edgar Allan Poe. I just want to pick his brain. And him and Miguel, I just want to pick their brain. Like, especially Miguel. Like, what were you thinking when you wrote Don Quixote? And I mean, I read that story to my children and they found it funny and hilarious. And I'm just like, that's crazy because that's a big time difference. And my children find it funny. And then Edgar Allan Poe, I just want to pick his brain and just be like, can I see what's in the dark spaces between your ears? Like some of the things, because I read Edgar Allan Poe when I was in high school and I was just blown away by it. I was like, I don't know why. I don't like horror. I don't like dark anything. And yet I'm intrigued by this man. I want to read more. I wish he was alive so I can ask him these questions. But of course, then I find out he was already going through some things. So even if he was alive today, probably wouldn't have been the best time to talk to him. But I just want to put these 5 together and just pick their brains and gain strength and knowledge from them, and to be able to keep pushing, because there are days where I feel like, why bother? And then to be able to talk to these people, especially Octavia and Maya, just to get that push, like a little sister, a little niece, keep going, just keep going. You got this, just keep going. That would be interesting to me. So I've completed that. I tag everybody who has watched this and who wants to do the tag. I will link the original in the description box. I will also link the video, the Star Wars video that I did with my son, in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button. Peace and love.